Welcome, buddy. As you can see, we are coming to work on the prep stuff, and I hope you kind of enjoy this. So this is our mailbox, this African Leadership Academy mailbox, and if you logged into the mail, you could just come to the drive like by clicking here. So like we're in the drive right now, and yeah, we go to like for the prep system we used last year. We have like Troana, Athena, Lefem Gaga, and all those kind of stuff. And we're collecting like all our data in this like spreadsheet. Yeah. As you can see, yeah, it looks really cute. We had a couple of sheets, like probably they might not make sense, and like the stuff written in them will probably even be more will look like gibberish, gibberish kind of stuff. But yeah, I hope by the end of this video you get to understand some stuff. We'll probably not do the same thing. We'll do a slightly improved version of this, and yeah, I hope things make sense at the end. So I kind of have two of these open, so I'm just gonna close one. Yeah, we'll be coming back and forth to this, so let's just keep it open. Yeah, and yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I created like a new spreadsheet, and I named it like new prep. So that's where I want to start all over. Like this is where I want all my data to go to. I want to turn this into something like this. Yeah. So I've created the spreadsheet, and I've added a couple of like sheets to it. Like I called one of them Mama, this Mama, yeah, green, and then Dada, and then summary, and then database, and then yeah, room or something like that. And this is where all our data will be coming. And how do I do that? I go to like the drive. Let's say I go to Tawana. What I do is I go to responses and I say change response destination. Then I tell it a new sheet in an existing spreadsheet. So it will give me the opportunity to choose which spreadsheet I want. And then so I just choose like this, and then all the data will be going there. Yeah, I've already done that, so I don't want to do the process twice. Yeah, and you have to do it for every single one of the forms that you want to link to that particular spreadsheet. Like we want to make the main spreadsheet, so you have to link all the hosts to this like um this prep, like new prep spreadsheet. Yeah, so by the time you're done and you finish naming the stuff, like I've hidden some of the stuff, like to hide any sheet, like you just do the arrow key here and then you just say hide, yeah, and then it's hidden, yeah. So I've kind of hidden it so that like you're not overwhelmed with too many sheets. Yeah, so all the sheets are here. This will be bringing data from the Tawana form, from the Athena form, um, from the Gaga form, from the Malaika form. And this will be displaying the people who have signed up for room, main library, auditorium, the L classrooms, F classrooms. Like, yeah, it will get intense. Like, so just keep your fingers crossed. And yeah, we could probably start work. I'm wondering if I should use like Office for the test. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, let's just use Office. Yeah. So this is Office, and where is the Office? So this is a like our sign out page. I'll just say view live form. Let's see. Let's see. I want to sign someone out. I sign Wycliffe, um, and then I say he's in the room. Okay, and then I submit. You realize that it came right there. Now I have my first data. Yeah, and it's today. Everything looks like really cool. The timestamp and everything, and where he's prepping. So what I want to do is I want to make like this sheet I call data. Let me bring it to the first place. So like because it's the one we're working on, drag it, I bring it here. If you look at where is the previous one? Yeah, the previous thing we did. The mama was like the main sheet, like the mother of all the sheets. And what it was doing was that for instance, like it would take this letabo, for instance, and look through like Twawana. It will look through the Twawana sheet, like look through and then find if you look at the code really well, it's kind of like looking for A2, which is like having the letterable inside the Tawana, and it's looking for an exact match. You get what I mean? And like it's having, and the condition is that like the particular the date column or the timestamp column should like be like the integer of that date should be like today. And like, can you imagine, like every single one of these cells like is computing a similar thing just to find the data for that unique person to the left. And like I feel like it's kind of tedious and it's a lot of work for the computer, because like it has to execute all these commands in every one of those single cells, like every time, check this thing over and over and over again. So no wonder like it takes so long to like if I like, let's say like I even do something like A1, like cell A1 plus cell A2, like it's takes so long to, even though the internet is fast, it takes so long. So imagine if your internet is slow, all because like it's so like the code inside each one of every one of the cells is like a lot, and it has to do so much work. And what we want to do is to prevent the computer, like to help let's say our new system or improved system not do that much work. So what we are going to do is the work that this guy was doing at first, like each and every cell, one of those cells was doing, we are just going to make one cell do that. And like, or that part, or this sheet we call that, this is going to do all that work. So for instance, like if we want the data from like, let's say today, let me just put today's date, like today. When you want today's date, you can just put equal to today, and then yeah, so you realize it gives you today's date. And then I want to filter out like the data for all the signups for only today. So I just introduce a filter syntax. So filter, and it's asking me for the range, like where do I filter from? So like which hall are we starting with? Let's say office. Yeah, I want you to filter from A up to C. And how filter works is once we've entered the range, now we must give it a condition. Filter when what happens. So we want it to filter when the date is today. So we want to tell it that like the integer of this. Okay, let me not add this for now. Um, I go to, yeah. So I just say office. I put the exclamation, and I want no A to A. That like that means the A column inside office should be equal to, that is where all the dates are. The dates should be equal to today. You get it? So that's like my main aim right now. I want to filter all the stuff like with only today. And then yeah, let me come back to this and see how it's displayed. Bam, it's telling me like there's no data that matches it because it's not able to match this column to today very well. So how do we make sure that it's matching date with date? We just kind of convert like the date into an integer. You know, like computers have the capability of converting like um, dates into like integer values. So I say the int of this column should be equal to the int of today. So once the date is today, like we'll fetch it and bring it out. So you see, stuff is happening. And what I did here was that for you it might probably be different because you might have the whole date, like the date and the time, like being shown, you know. But I did some settings so like to if I don't want to see the date, I already know that today is today. Like today, I know today's date, so I just have to go to select the column, like by clicking, yeah, and then I go to format number, and I say I want it to be displayed like in a time form. You know, I just need a time because yeah, I want to catch those who are late. Yeah. Um. So you realize that it is over here. Let's see. Let's sign someone else out, and then we'll see what happens. Let's see. Let's sign to Musodik. Yep, that's a really really like bad name. I don't know who would have such a name. Yeah, but anyways, so let's say Musodik is prepping in the library. I say submit, and let's come back to new prep, and yeah, Musodik is there because the integer of like the like today's date over here, like the date he signed up. Sorry, this date, the integer of this particular date is actually equal to the integer of like today's date, which I've put here. So it's kind of filtering all the stuff, all the today's like all today's signups like from Office into like these three columns. You get what I mean? Now, what we want to do is, what if someone signs up twice? You know, you want the most current sign up for the person because someone signs up for someone like you probably wants to change or something like that. You know, so what you want to do is you want to sort it according to something. You know, like either sort it according to names or according to time or but in this case you can just realize that we need it according to time. You get what I mean? So we want the latest, like we want it to arrange like everybody's like sign up from the first time he signed up to the last. Probably if he signed up three times to the third time he signed up, like probably in ascending order or descending order, so that we can know which one is the most current. So we can introduce a sort thingy there. So sort, then we introduce our bracket. So it's going to sort this whole thing that is happening there, and then I put the comma. So it's going to sort according to what? I want it to sort according to the second column, which contains the names, and I want it to, let's say I put one there. The one, I will explain the importance of the one, and then that's like the first sorting. I want it to sort, once that's sorted like according to names. Now, the names might have different sign-ups because like one particular name might have signed up like many times. So now it has sorted according to names. I want it to sort according to the times that like the names were signed. So I will sort again with column one, and then I'll also put a one again, and I'll explain. It's the same reason as this previous one. The two of them have the same like concept. It's all about the ascending and descending other stuff. I hope like if I explain like you get to understand the stuff. Yeah. So what it is doing is that let's make it more practical so that it makes much more sense. Let's say I want to submit another form for Wycliffe. Yeah. I say he's in L2 and I say submit. When I come back here, Wycliffe was put under Wycliffe because now all the Wycliffes have been sorted. So now you realize that M comes before W, so M and then W. So all the Wycliffes are in the same order. But now the earliest time for Wycliffe came first and the latest time for Wycliffe came second. Like that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So that's all about this one and this other one. You get what I mean? I don't know whether it makes sense. So it's kind of arranging according to like ascending order. So from the lowest to the highest. You get. I hope like by now it should make some sense. So now once that's filtered this stuff, that means like when we come to the let's say considering the old sheet like this, it doesn't need to do all those sorting again and do all these like plenty stuff, like it doesn't help anyone, trying to check whether it's today or whatever. Each and like imagine each and every one of them is checking whether it's today, but this new thing, it's only one cell that is checking whether it's today, and it's kind of summarizing all of them in one sheet. So that's kind of what happens now. I hope you are wondering how did we get the names here in the mama. It's very simple. You type them yourself. It's not that difficult. Let me look for the names of the people in Office. Uh, where is Office? Yeah, it starts from here. Let me copy. No, I'm kind of lazy, so bear with me. Yeah, I copy, and then I go to my new, like, let me put it. Let me say, let me name the places like the name, and then let me put like the status, yeah, like whether the person has signed in or not, and then let me say where. Cool. So let me paste the names here. Good. Okay, awesome. Now let's see what happens. I want to, now what this mama is going to do is that it's going to refer to dada, and going to dada, and now dada, because dada, like daddy has done all the work of bringing only the people, like only the signups for only today. She's going to just check whether this particular name appears here. Once your name appears here, you that means you've signed up, because like you've it's collecting data from office for those who have signed up today. So once your name appears in data, you have signed up. So that's the only job like mama is going to do. So it's going to, let's say it's going to match, like we just want to check whether something appears somewhere. So we want to use match. Yeah. So we match this cell, comma, and it's asking where the range, So we want to match it here in this column. You get it? If we match it in this column, yeah, and we want an exact match, so we put a 0. So we say, now you realize that it has put a 2 there. We don't need a 2, but like I guess we're wondering what it really means. It's telling you the position of where it found the thing you were looking for. So you said you were looking for Musodik. Now it's telling you I found Musodik, and he was actually in the second place, yeah, like in the second cell. You feel me? It's kind of trying to show off, but we don't care about that. We just want to see whether the person is there or not. So, for example, like if we want to check whether Wycliffe is also, we just drag down, and it's telling you Wycliffe is actually the first time he sees Wycliffe is in the third cell. Now, when I drag it to like Francis, it says NA, and we don't want to be seeing NA everywhere. Like if you see it, tell me you see it. If you don't see it, don't tell me NA. I don't want to see it. So the one way to cover up and to avoid all these NA stuff, because it's saying NA because it could not find this evaluation in the range you provided, because Okongo has not signed up. So what we want to do is sorry, yeah, Control Z, yeah. So what you want to do is you want to come back here, and you want to quote it in like in an ISERO kind of thing. ISERO is like a very cool way of covering, like not so that you don't show like anybody that like you have NANA stuff like in your work. You get what I mean. So you want to say if this this whole thing, if it's an error, ring a bracket, like if this whole stuff is an error, then I want you to say XX, and XX means like the person has not signed up. But if it is not an error, then I want you to actually print, I want you to say signed in. Yeah, so I close it. And instead of putting the position, it actually it puts like signed in. So I can drag it down, and you realize that like these guys have not signed in. Now let's sign Jean Pierre in and see what happens. Jean Pierre, yep, he'll probably prep in his room. So let's say submit, and when we come here, Jean Pierre is signed in, because this is just as much work. It just needs to do just this work, these two like commands, and then that's all. As compared to like the old system where it had to like do all these like, oh my god, that's so much work for this system. Yeah. So we kind of nailed the status part. Now we want to do the where aspect. Like where is this person prepping? We want to know where. So again, we'll go back to data, because data has like filtered everything, including like the place where they'll be prepping. So what we want to do is we go here, equal to, and we want to say VLOOKUP. We want to look up this inside here, like between this range. Yeah, we want to VLOOKUP means like vertical lookup. It's gonna look like this and look like this and look like this and look. So I want you to start looking from here, from B to C, and when you okay, I forgot to put what we were actually looking for. Um, So I want to VLOOKUP, actually I want to VLOOKUP A2 inside this range, and then I want you to return the second column, which is where the wheres are, So you realize that it has put like, so what this means is that I want you to look up Mosodic, which is A2, like okay, A2, and then I want you to look up that thing inside between this and this. And once you have found it, I want you to bring what is to the right of it. That's why so because like let me explain this again. Because the range I gave was like from B to C. So let's say B, well, if you start counting, like B is 1, C is 2. So I want you to bring the second one, which is the C column, or what you see in the C column, which is the places where they'll be prepping. And for Mosodic, it's like main library. You get it? Now, this is very simple. I hope like you understand that. But in cases where someone signs up twice, how does it know that it needs to bring, well, is it the first one that it should bring? For instance, like let's sign Musodik up again. We sign Musodik and we say he's seen F7. Yep. And now we come here, it says F7. It's automatically updated because like this is the how do you call it? Um it's kind of like the automatic settings. But if you want to specify it and be sure that like this, that like that is exactly like what you want to do, you either put a 1 or a 0, and or a true or a false. Like you're asking whether is it sorted. We want to say yes, it's sorted. So see what happens, like it brings out the F7, just like we wanted it to. It's kind of simple. Like I hope it makes sense. Yeah. So it brings the F7. Let's see. Let's sign up Tolu again. Sadiq, and we say L4. When you come here, it's updated to L4. And if you see what is happening at the data place, like Musodik has come 3 times, and it's like in ascending order of the time, like that he signed up, and then this is the latest time, and it's taking like the latest time. So that is like pretty awesome. And for now, you know how to do the web, but there's something little you must like know about this, because for instance, like it looks up that thing, and then it gives you the place where the person is. But imagine if we drop it down, same thing. When we drop it down, it's going to look for realize that like even though it doesn't find A4, it's giving you some rubbish, something you never asked for. You get it? So what you want to do is you want to tell it that like you want to modify this code a bit and say, dude, you have to do this. Um, I want you to do something special for me. Um, Before you start your VLOOKUP, I want you to check whether the person has signed in or not. So you want to say if the cell, like let's say B2, like this cell, um, sorry, if B2, yeah, it's B2. If B2 um, is equal to, if it is equal to signed in, no, if it is, sorry, if it is equal to x, let me say in quotation xx, then I want you to say xx. If otherwise, I want you to do this computation. Yes. Now it will make so much sense to the computer. Yeah. So now you realize that when I drag it down, so what it's doing is it's first checking whether B2, this one, is signed in or not. Once, like for instance, once this is XX, it's just gonna print XX. Once it is not XS, that means, and it has like signed in, it's going to now do the VLOOKUP, and so the guy has signed it. So now where is he? Then it's going to print you like exactly where the person is. Like I hope this is kind of making some sense. So like you kind of want to modify your code like in this way. So I hope you understand this part. I hope you understand this part, and hopefully it makes much sense. Like I've explained how the data works and how it's going to bring stuff. So what you're going to do is, let me just insert a row above. I'm gonna say Chuawana, and I'm gonna say let's say Athena, and I'm gonna say um, Gaga, and it goes on and on and on. So whatever you did for this guy, you get it. Whatever you did for this guy, you kind of want to do the same thing for. So like you're going to sort and filter from A to C. Now this time from Athena, like that's how you're going to put the code here from Athena, and it's just gonna follow the same like procedure. And one way we could modify this is, we don't want to put like today into the code. We want to put like B. Is it B1? It's B2. It's rather B2. Um, B2. Like so, this is B2. This is where I'll be putting my, like, let's say, if I want to change the date, this is where I'll be changing the date, and it's automatically update with the whole thing. So it's better if I refer the code to the cell, and then like I can change the date anytime, than to put the dates inside the each and every, like this code, and then I'll have to like change it here too every time. So it's better like refer it to a particular cell. So int b2 is basically saying int of whatever is here, which is actually the date. So however you want to do that. So like let me kind of help you out here. I copy. Let me copy. Control C, and then I come to Athena, and I just paste, but this time I just change all the office to like Athena, 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 and that should be it. And you realize that someone in Athena has actually signed up. Toko has signed up from Athena, and you kind of want to do the same thing for Gaga and for all the other hosts. Like you could leave one space between them, but this is where like oh, this is actually office. Yeah. So like I say office, Athena, Gaga, whatever, however you want to arrange it, it's totally and completely up to you. And yeah, that's kind of what you want to do. And when it comes to the mama, you look for like the offices. You make sure that it's Dada, and then it's PB and all that. But when it comes to the like let's say Athena, you come and check where Athena is. Let's say Athena is going to be like, you're going to be doing E to like G, or like FG instead of let's say, you know how for office you did like BC. Let me show you once again. For office we did like BB, we did BB, and then we did like BC here. So you know how to like modify it to suit like all the other columns you'll be using for the different hosts. Because and you must be like, to do that you must know where each of the names come from. So just kind of, yeah, make sure you do that. And I hope like it kind of makes sense up to this stage. If you don't understand anything, just be sure to send me an email, so373 at cornell.edu. And yeah, that's where I would end for this part of it. Yeah. So you know how to use Mama, you know how to use Data, you know how to link the different spreadsheets to this master spreadsheet. Yeah, for the next video, we'll probably work on how to make a summary like this. Where is it? Oh, probably we could. Yeah, yeah. So we'll make the summary, and the summary is going to have like, all these percentages and stuff, and to check whether someone is late. You know how this mama has someone like also checks whether the person is late or something. Yeah, we would actually work on that in the next video. So yeah, enjoy, have a nice day, and have fun.